Hello my people, it's your boy Dixon again. Welcome to this channel. Today we have a very interesting story. We're about to react to the truth about the UK homeless. It's not about money or housing. Let's see.
To unofficial estimates, there are over 300,000 people in this category. This is double the number 5 years ago. These individuals are not refugees or immigrants from Africa or Asia. They are citizens of the United Kingdom itself. Homeless people here are not just adults or middle-aged men. Recently, there's been a significant increase in the proportion of women and those aged between 16 and 24. They are young, strong, and generally in good physical condition. Yet they still wander and sleep on the streets.
Why? You cannot go and work, you're supposed to be in school. Why are you homeless? Have you been chased out of your home? Are you, I don't know, orphan? Or, I don't
Tents
know.
Look strangely out of place in the commercial areas of cities, set among the offices and shops with cars and people passing by. These tents are, however, the only shelter these people have.
The UK citizens.
Most of those sleeping rough don't even have a tent in which to shelter. Instead, they lurk in various public spaces in the city, like sidewalks, parks, bus stops, under bridges, and at the corners of buildings.
What could be the reason?
Homeless people come from various backgrounds and circumstances, yet they've all found themselves on the street. Many rely on welfare and charity, while others find intermittent work. Some survive by begging. The distinction between the homeless and beggars is not always clear. Some homeless people have jobs, but sleep on the streets due to insufficient income to pay for accommodation. Conversely, some beggars have homes, while others find themselves both begging and homeless. Some beggars choose this path as an easier way to earn money, finding it faster and more convenient than working. Some beg because they don't have a job, like this girl. Her lack of paid work stems from health issues, particularly problems with her leg, which hinders her ability to secure steady employment.
I've got emphysema. They think, well, I got about 6 weeks breathing test. I got scoliosis, Klippel-Feil syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis in my knees and my spine. They think that I'm going to be in a wheelchair by the time I'm 40. So I'd rather get £12 a week. It's cheaper. So that's what I'm ready to earn.
All right. So you sitting here hoping that you get £12 a day in order
Yeah, I get food so I can take home, and then I need things like underwear, smellies obviously, because I haven't got anything. You know, I haven't got any clothes, just what I'm wearing. And so I'm trying to get money to get all of that stuff as well.
Yeah, that is quite sad.
The sight of homeless people leaning against the wall of a shop or curled up on the sidewalk raises questions. How did they end up here, and how can they be helped? It is clear that there's no single cause of homelessness, but it is partially the result of economics, families, social structure, and the problems faced by the individuals.
I was homeless when I was 18.
Why?
So I came to Cardiff from northwest England when I was 17 to live with my mum, and things didn't work out. On my 18th birthday, my mum was in a violent relationship with my stepdad, and basically, rather than chucking my stepdad out, she chucked me out. So I ended up being homeless on the streets.
So basically, I got made homeless when I was 18.
18?
Yeah. Me and my mum argued, basically. She kicked me out. I had nowhere else to go. Went to the Huggard. They gave me floor space.
So instead of kicking this person out, why don't we just give them money and tell them
having health problems or issues with family members doesn't necessarily result in homelessness, though. The underlying reasons are often insufficient income, or the lack of a supportive family that accepts and cares for them. Individual backgrounds and personalities can, of course, play a big part.
And I feel free when I'm homeless. I don't have any, you know, when I cut off my family and I left that flat, it was like I cut a weight off and I'm free. It's nice to sometimes just pick up my stuff and go anywhere I want. you know? No burdens, no, just me and that's it.
Most of the homeless people we encounter are men, as living rough poses a greater risk for women. Nonetheless, the number of homeless women is on the rise. Another factor preventing escape from living on the streets is drug addiction.
But I was on drugs. I'm on a methadone script now, so I'm coming off that.
That is the biggest
So
you clean now.
problem right now among the teenagers. Drug and drug
very well at the moment.
I think we just need a program to educate these guys, to educate the youth and the whole population at large about the effects of drugs, how you can just avoid and not get addicted, because it's a serious.
Her pink sleeping bag and personal belongings were packed into a black bag before she left to find a good place to beg. If she can collect enough today to pay the rent, the sleeping bag won't be needed tonight. When she's out of sight, no one knows if she is still abusing drugs.
Okay. But this drug addiction is actually a big problem.
The cabinet is full of new syringes in sterile packets, while the yellow bin contains the used ones. The cycle of drug addiction and hard-to-find money needed to support the habit is how many people end up stranded on the streets, which in turn makes it difficult for them to get off drugs. The Huggard Centre is a homeless shelter run by an NGO. It provides clean needles for homeless people who use drugs. While this doesn't do much to stop drug abuse, at least clean needles can reduce other health problems which come from using a dirty needle.
I think one of the important things is we're trying to meet people where they are at the moment, and pretending people are not using drugs and not providing them with needles just means that they're going to put themselves in danger. And if they're putting themselves in danger, we're not looking after their welfare. So we're very much trying to meet people where they are at the moment and not suggesting they can suddenly give up using substances.
Even with free clean needles, drugs cannot be taken in the centre. There are many who take the view that this may actually encourage homeless people to continue using drugs. But the provision of clean needles has long been an accepted practice in many European countries, probably because it has been shown to significantly reduce the number of drug-related deaths and infections, while easing the burden on state-provided health infrastructure.
You need to find a way of getting out of that problem. You can't just start using drugs in the name of,
because they want to use drugs at that moment.
I'm stressed, so I need to get rid of my stress. It won't help. It won't help, my guy. It won't help.
So, for example, we've had, I think it was something like 90 people last year who we got into rehabilitation programs.
The funny
so that's
thing
getting
about the
clean
rehabilitation
drugs.
centers,
Now,
they are
we wouldn't
very
have been able to
expensive. Not
do
all
that
the
if
family
we
can
hadn't
afford
met
it.
them where they are
So
now,
the
rather than
addicted guys,
expecting them to
youths
be
who are
abstaining.
on drug addiction,
In addition to the clean needle service, there's also an emergency room for use during the cold British autumn and winter, when outside temperatures can fall below zero for several days at a time.
So I think the government needs to.
So this is our emergency overnight stay accommodation. So if we're not able to put people in hostel, which is most of the time because it's always full, rather than having people out on the streets, people can come in here and it'll be safe and warm. We'll have staff here all the way through the night. We'll provide breakfast for people. And we have what we call the pods here.
The space is divided into small cubicles with just enough space to put a bed. The room's doorway has gaps at the top and bottom, so the supervisors can easily check on the well-being of the occupants. Inside the room there are personal belongings, and a winter coat hangs in the corner. Some rooms have towels and clothes draped over the door. There are a total of 20 bedrooms like this here. But there are not enough for the number of homeless people across England. Tens of thousands of homeless people are on waiting lists for shelters because public, private and emergency shelters have been full for the last decade, while budget constraints hinder the building of new ones.
And why can't you build more?
Well, it's just we haven't got the finances for it. We do get funding for everyone.
Homeless men and women dwell in a small hall where men huddle on benches outside the rooms. In the small kitchen, the staff are serving hot soup, beans and fish. A homeless man is enjoying his soup in the corner, while 2 others stand in line. Instead of giving away free food, it is sold at a very low price, which the homeless can afford. This policy aims to raise awareness about the value of food and promote a positive attitude towards homelessness, to prevent them feeling that they are begging for whatever is provided.
Yeah,
People's looks.
at least that's more.
The looks of people, really. Yeah. Because they look to you like you're a bit of dirt on the bottom of their shoe when we're not. We are, we're all human beings at the end of the day. Sorry that we ain't got a house to go back to and things like that. But yeah, there are some drug users and some alcoholics on the streets, but we're not all the same. But me, I don't touch drugs,
Huge amount of people, because of the stress and strains that they face, taking drugs and alcohol abuse, which adds pressure to families, and sometimes families really don't know how to cope with that. And so the only way very often they can cope is by, putting their family member out, because it's disrupting the whole family.
When the homeless people don't come to seek help at the shelter, the Purple Bus provides a mobile assistance service.
Bus is a good platform to engage with people, not as an institution.
But
so it is a public space, because we are bringing the service to the service users, and there are sleepers who normally wouldn't engage with the institution. So it's, they can jump on and jump out of the bus as they please, and they will still get the support as much as they would like us to support them with.
A warm drink on a cold day, a piece of soft bread and freshly baked pastries, along with the smiles and hospitality of the staff, create a sense of refuge.
Exactly, homeless people who are transient, who are chaotic, who have issues, they don't want bureaucracy. They want a simple process that would help them initially to get off the streets. It's as simple as that. And unfortunately, we provide this. We've got a very simple approach to helping people. We listen to their needs and address what they need us to address initially. And from then on, they move on. It's their decision.
In addition to food, the inside of the bus is arranged like a small lounge or waiting room, where the homeless can take a temporary but welcome rest. There's even a washing machine ready to be of service to anyone who needs to wash clothes. When the bus is parked, volunteers prepare drinks and snacks to distribute to the homeless. While people wait to receive food, staff will engage in conversation to build trust, which may eventually lead to further assistance being provided. This young woman left her home at the age of 18 due to domestic violence. After 10 years of living on the streets and relying on this bus for sustenance, she was finally granted permanent housing assistance from the government.
Now you have the flat.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your plan from now?
Just moving on with my life, really, getting a job.
That is the most important thing. Someone can open up and tell
forward,
you,
not looking
this
back.
is my problem, this is
So,
how
yeah.
I want to do
What
it,
do you do?
this is how I want to be.
I don't
wish
care.
to be helped,
I don't care. I just want to have a job,
feel good being
daily
here.
income.
I
and like
really wish
something
to
to wake
get
up
a
for in the
job
morning,
and
go
be
out
my
to
own
work,
house,
come home.
and these guys,
Just that,
they can
just routine,
help you
normality.
out,
Nice
having that
company,
trust and
really. They're amazing
really
people,
helps a lot.
amazing people. They got hearts of gold. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you
It's
see,
amazing what they do.
she's pretty well, she
Amazing.
knows what to
Yeah,
do, she
yeah,
knows what she
basically.
wants in life.
Basically, yeah.
And actually, remember
If
she
you want to
said
see
earlier
more
that she
great
doesn't
content
use
from
drugs,
all
so
over
her
the
case
world,
is quite simple.
please like the video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The issue of homelessness in England is becoming increasingly serious. Real estate prices in London continue to rise in a city which is already one of the most expensive in which to live in the world. Meanwhile, the income of ordinary people and social welfare benefits have not kept pace. Moreover, the availability of affordable housing for low-income people has decreased, and the organisations which provide accommodation are facing budget cuts. The policy of reducing housing welfare payments for people aged 18 to 25 has resulted in rising numbers of new homeless, especially among the young and female population.
London actually is one of the
Individually,
most
they have stories of facing domestic violence, experiencing failures in life, struggling with drug problems, and dealing with other personal challenges.
I don't know. I don't know why there's more homeless women now than there was back then.
We see regular females that's decided to be street homeless, or new females, but they want to move on from street homelessness and find accommodation relatively quickly, so they're more motivated because they recognize themselves as more vulnerable on the streets than men would feel.
But obviously things like substance use is a major issue amongst some people,
that someone can just afford,
but also we're seeing a lot of people who have never really had the opportunity to have a settled life. So they've been looked after by the local authority perhaps. We have people who've been abuse victims as children, and so very often people just haven't had that stability that we all need when we're growing up.
Sociologists have discovered that the number of homeless people varies based on urban development. The more developed a city becomes, the greater the number of homeless tends to be.
One thing with
the rapid increase in the homeless population has driven the British government to allocate a budget exceeding £1 billion to tackle this issue. Nevertheless, simply offering shelters and distributing food will not resolve the problem of homelessness. It is a complex problem on the streets and in the shadows. There are those who have both unwillingly and intentionally become homeless.
You, yes I do, gonna spend all my money on you. Every day when you say that I'm not gonna take any more. Whoa, 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 whoa.
For watching.